Oh,
Yeah.
interesting idea.
I was sort of cooking on it, like before Storm. She actually had a very similar idea. I don't. Where the idea is, the reality of the matter is that, like, even with these sheriff elections, the very slim picking, right? Like, I actually think Pred is the most qualified to do what's probably needed, but there is going to be the feeling of like he's running it back, and I still think he's the best pick, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't a week ago, but given who I've seen, I think he is. I think the most stable is Ruby with McNulty as undersheriff, because I think McNulty is not going to do the work. I think he's going to patrol all day and then get fed up.
I agree.
I think Ruby likes to do administration, and honestly, while I don't think she was necessarily compatible for LSPD chief at the time due to her political positions, overprotectiveness of officers, and a point being that BCSO is probably going to ultimately need to be stable, right? Given the other bullshit. I think that's where Princess is leaning. And I was like, you know what? Why not just have a spicy third department? You know what I mean? And if the project fails, the project fails.
You thinking of what, the Polito department, or just something more general?
No, I think it would have to be in the city.
What, like in the old ranger station, something like that? There's like something in between.
It could literally be anything. I mean, we could open it up in Vespucci. The point being that, like, we can minimize. The idea was that it would be joint custody, in that it's kind of like we could literally do whatever with it. You know what I mean? We could put fucking Carmine behind it, or alternatively put, like, think of it as like a test base, because as like a worst case, you just fucking tear it down. You know what I mean? The reality is that San Andreas has to, if San Andreas operates too much on the status quo, it doesn't attract vacationers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reality too is experimenting too much with the BCSO and LSPD is very dangerous, right? So why not experiment with a third department? And who knows, if the experiment goes well, keep building on it. If it sucks, you tear it down and nothing's lost. So, anyways. But I don't think too much about it. This is just consider a little spice idea.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with Jason, because we haven't chatted in a minute. How are things?
Other than Clark blowing up my phone at the moment, things have been going well. Court Center remodeling is underway. It's looking very nice. I will need a re-up to buy some materials and get people paid.
Can you resend me the account number and I'll send to Mil?
Today.
Oh, you did? Perfect. All right.
Yes. What else is going on? I think I need to touch base with Michael again at some point to go over the legislation that we were talking about for the subsidy for the moonshine for the medicinal companies.
Yes.
Also, somebody told me they put in a business proposal that is pending with you, Nino. It's called Mother's Medicine. I'm not sure when they put it in. They caught me this morning while I was feeding the city and asked if you could review it.
This is Blaine County.
Okay, yep. Perfect. Then I will touch base with Princess.
Oh, wait. Did you sell the building?
No.
Wait, this is your building?
Yes.
Oh. Why didn't you just say?
It's not my business, though. It is not my business.
I got
I'm just
you. I got you.
leasing the property.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Might as well make a little bit of money instead of it just sitting empty.
That makes sense. Okay. Oh wow, how far is construction?
Construction on what?
Oh, the court center.
Oh, the bones are laid out.
Okay.
Benjamin had a wedding to be at today. He will be back tomorrow to work some more, he said.
I am probably gonna avoid looking at it until it's ready. I trust you guys. You know, whatever you guys, however you want to do it. You know?
It's looking nice so far. I like it. So
yeah,
there will be a surprise for you then if you don't go to see.
Love it. I'm glad to see how much is cooking in courts. I may poke for a little bit more work around it. I'm gonna try poking again for business accounts. I'm gonna try to make a strong argument that we really need some things that are gonna make people want to engage in business. Like we need I'm gonna hot take. Courts needs to have the register, be the only place with registers. We need to bring people together, right? Would it be a benefit for other business to have it? 100%, right? But bringing people together to do commerce is so important right now. We have a drain. It's going to solve the drain leak. After that, spread that shit out. You know what I mean? We need something simple to drive people in, get rid of having to deal with the website or whatever. Just all in city, go over there. You know, you hand out a register thing, ding, ding, boom, boom. It goes, you know, you connect your business account to it, do the transfers through it. Easy. What do you think?
I actually like that idea a lot.
Okay. Okay. All right. Tony, you got your paycheck, right?
Yeah, I noticed I got the paychecks for it. Is that for January, February?
Yes.
Or December, January. Okay.
December, January, I think. Anything else, Jason?
I don't think so.
Okay, easy. Tony? Michael, what's your ETA?
You mean estimated time to departure?
Yep.
6 hours.
Good. Okay. I want to lay out our rerun I have a lot to cook on legislatively.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's talk high level. Penal code is waiting the DOJ. They're probably not going to respond. I'm going to be honest. Maybe they will. I don't fucking know. They've pretty much been gone since the governor's been here. Expected behavior. A lot of negative is still coming out of that office. The latest being, I'm sort of like setting up for a statement I'm about to make. The latest situation being, there is a aiding and abetting charge, which Faulkner pressed on somebody for aiding Raccoon, for aiding somebody who was on parole.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so grossly incompetent of a decision. It pretty much tells me, like, indicates to me that legislation doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's such a brainlet, the charge reads, knowingly aids and assists a person wanted for offenses listed under HAG guidelines. These people were on parole for HAG, so due process was skipped. The definition in the penal code was skipped. The actual writing of the case law was ignored. So it's now an entire shit show. The reason I outline all this is we really need to, and Michael and I are going to cook on this today. We're going to get the bill legislation out as an option. I think I know how I want to lay it out now. I cooked on it a lot, Michael. The bill legislation is going to create a new thing under the MDT, where under legislation or as a drop down, people will be able to file bills. Bills are just like the way we do legislation today, but it'll be targeted. Like a bill for legalizing EMPs. This is the why. This is the reason. This is the penal code charge. And the bill will serve as a proposed action, right? What does that mean? If we want to take 5 pieces of legislation, dump it down to 1, and rewrite it a certain way, you would make 1 bill, and that would cover all those things. So the bill is kind of like a bill that you would have in the United States and Canada, but it's more akin to a changelog that still has like authority. Like it can still be referenced back, right? It doesn't like disappear into nothingness. The next step is we're going to be pushing forward an argument for having a more concise process for magistrates to become judges and a electoral process for justices. Thirdly, a bar association. Why? Because we need people to get educated in law and become the future of the DOJ. Because as of right now, these justices are irreplaceable because they're not hiring people to eventually replace them. They're doing like the engineer bullshit that happens at software companies where it's like, you know, you don't tell anyone else how anything works, so they can't get rid of you, but the entire company ends up failing as a side effect. So, as reference to this, speaking to a defense attorney, they're not even willing to ACR or impeach over egregious acts because so-and-so is the only one around. That's such a bad situation. So, we're going to be hot firing this. Sheriff decision up north, up in question. I'm not really too concerned which way it goes. At the end of the day, it could be Ventura and Aspen. It doesn't change our mode, right? We have our county to look forward to, right? Or look after we have to fix this legal system for everybody. So they could pick the worst option, the best option. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What else? Anything else we want to discuss? Otherwise,
I mean, just a quick thing about what I'm kind of going with right now with the aiding and abetting stuff. I'm probably gonna put up an appeal for both the raccoons aiding and abetting. First one being fighting Falconer's decision on that, so hopefully Danielson isn't conflicted out of that. And then I'm also appealing a second aiding and abetting for Raccoon again because they kind of just sent him up without getting a judicial decision on how much time and fine he was supposed to get. They skipped that part and sent him for the same amount he got from the first case. There's no evidence that a judge or anybody determined.
just pull out a gun, shoot me. Just shoot me and my misery. And my fucking misery. I need you to say that one more time. You're telling me his parole violation is that they hit him with all the same charges? Or fines and times?
Raccoon ended up aiding and abetting again, up to them.
How? Wait, he got it again?
He got it again from a second situation.
Okay, and in that second situation, were they wanted?
At that point, I think it's Arnie Carl and Courtney Garcia, so I believe so. But the part that they skipped was having a judicial member decide the time and fine. They just gave him the same one again.
Who?
Ricky Dallas was the primary officer.
A cop? What do you mean? What did they give him?
Literally, the Falconer gave him what was 100 months and 50K. They gave him the same amount. They didn't even let. There's no evidence that it just determined.
What? Wait, they used the judicial discretion, fine and time. Are you okay? But are you sure they didn't email a justice?
That part, I need to confirm with them. They still haven't responded to my FOIA yet, and we're at the deadline. So I'm
Wait,
confirming that
FOIA
part
for what?
for that situation to appeal it. For the second situation.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Why do we do this? Why do we do this? What's the fucking point? Oh my fucking god! Jesus fucking Christ! It's just like I don't understand. I don't fucking understand it. This law and order doesn't matter? How are these people cops? I don't understand. There's fucking due process for a fucking reason.
I mean, you saw it too. I mean, for them, they
Who sent them? Who sent them? What department?
they said Ricky Dawes was responsible for that second incident. I don't know if he was the primary or the rest.
Have you asked?
They didn't clarify that. That's my task for today because they haven't given my FOIA yet.
Ricky Dallas. Who the fuck is this?
Unsure.
Please tell me this isn't a fucking PPO. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. He's a deputy. Okay. Give me just a second. Jimmy, give me just a second. Who is around? Alice, right? Alice Watson. She's around. Give me a second. I genuinely am starting to think that I need to just become a justice. Like,
Howdy.
how you doing, Alice?
How are you, darling?
Give me a second. I'm just writing your name down on my phone so I don't.
You're okay. It's all right.
Can I ask you a question? I don't know how much of this you can say, but this is concerning enough. I want to bring it up to a member of High Command.
Okay, sure.
Who is the person, Tony?
Ricky Dallas.
Ricky Dallas was sent up for allegedly, what I'm being told is for aiding and abetting without.
Oh wait, else was the cop? Raccoon Elite Hadid was the suspect.
Hadid.
Yeah, Elite Hadid.
Obviously you can't disclose this, right, without a FOIA or whatever, but you know, this is more of like bringing it to your attention in the event what's being alleged may have occurred. So you guys can kind of probably get ahead of this. Allegedly someone was sent up for aiding and abetting without a judicial ruling. Based on a previous ruling. Does that ring any bells?
You're saying that Ricky Dallas was sent up?
Ricky Dallas sent Mr. Hadid allegedly on aiding and abetting without a judicial ruling.
I have zero context for that, and Ricky is also shift 3.
Oh.
So, that would be something that would have to be brought up. They would have context to that more than
okay.
I can speak to maybe Ventura might have some context to that.
Is he around? Do you know?
Ventura, yeah.
He is. Okay.
Yeah. But that it would be something to speak to Shift 3 High Command, which would be Lucas Lavender. He just went to bed and actually he's normally wasn't even around as long as he was. Like he was around far into Shift 1, but. I can also kind of look into to.
Do you mind taking a look at it? Because obviously this could turn into a legal shit show.
Yeah.
For other reasons as well, unrelated to Ricky or anything else. Sure. There's a lot of shit show happening.
Do you have a report or incident or anything?
Do you have an incident? Tony, do you have an incident number? I'm also, just for transparency, Alice, I'm also trying to figure out if I'm getting inaccurate information too, because I'm having a mental breakdown, if I'm going to be honest.
You're okay. No, it's all right.
It's not going to be okay. It's not okay. These people can't even, and by these people, the fucking DOJ, I'm not going to be okay.
I promise you, you're going to be.
These justices can't even read English.
You're going to be all right. This is not worth you to lose your damn mind over. Trust me, there's
66.
It will be okay. Some way or another, somebody will figure it the fuck out.
Somebody is me right now.
Yeah. Well, I will assist you the best I can, darling.
Do you have a bomb?
Wait, is that a question to
Ooh.
me? Do I have a bomb?
Yeah.
Kid's looking for one apparently for the courthouse.
We can start over, Ellis.
I don't have a bomb, darling. I don't
God
have no
damn
bomb.
it.
I don't have no bomb. No. I mean, I guess technically, well, I don't know if this is polite to talk to you about Nino Starlin. We've not been on that level of, but I was talking about smearing shit all over the damn walls in the bathroom earlier today. So, I mean, that could technically be alluded to when you drop a bomb, but that might not be what you're talking about. And I have been eating good lunch recently.
We can flood the
That's neither
courthouse.
What kind of
Not as
warfare?
upsetting as blowing it.
That would be a very
We could
interesting
flood
way
it with bombs.
to
We could flood it with bombs. You didn't
wash it
specify
all
water.
away.
You know
Yep.
what? You're right. You're right.
Mhm.
It's
That would
give
be a
kid a
terrible
bunch of
way to go.
fertilizer.
Imagine
No.
drowning in shit. Not only are you
Jesus.
drowning in shit.
I feel like there is shit that's being. Well, anyways, the report number is 14662.
Is that an incident or a report?
It should be a report, I believe. 14662.
Okay, and then what was the feller's name?
Is it? What was it, Tony? Hadid?
Elliot Hadid.
Ellie Hadid?
Elliot Hadid. Oh, okay. Raccoon. Okay, do you have a state ID?
For raccoon?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you
What's
have
the
his
state ID, Tony? Once again, Tony is going to be probably FOIAing this. Well, like I said,
There's already a FOIA. For
Oh, there already is a FOIA. Okay, good.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we're doing something that we need to rectify, like we
Yeah.
need to rectify. Like
State ID is
I'm big on
4970.
we should not be charging people inappropriately or not doing
Yeah.
things that we're
Ricky
supposed
Dallas
to be
is
doing.
apparently the
And
first.
just
If shit
for
needs to be rectified, then
and
that's
it
the way.
might be that he did the right thing and that the judiciary didn't record it. But
Sure.
you know,
Okay.
so
Yeah, I'll look into it a little bit. I will be real blunt with you, Nino Starlin. You know, this is I might be having to pass it down to somebody else about. There might be a little conflicture on Mr. Hadid Raccoon of Hydra Gang. So, but I will get it taken care of one way or another.
there might be confliction.
Well,
Listen, between
You know-
us, I
you
look
know
up
Susie
reports on
Carmichael?
Brian, and then
you know, Susie,
I pass it on
Yeah,
to Nino.
look it up.
So
you can't be doing that.
who else is going to do it? There's barely enough leaders around. You know?
Well, actually, you're not wrong. Sometimes
I
we
literally
gotta
put
do-
in Brian Knight for undersheriff of BCSO. I'm going to hold to that.
You did.
Yep.
Well, I mean, shit, you know him best, right?
Yeah. Well, not really. I haven't seen him before. I just hear stories.
Oh.
Yeah.
You ain't
I'm
friends
only.
with him?
No. I'm only joking, anyways. But let's
I'll look into it and I'll be in contact with you and,
beautiful.
and get as best as I can to figure out what the hell happened. Okay.
And just to be perfectly clear, right? Because I think
Yeah.
you understand. I'm not. Listen, I don't exactly have the best relationship with certain deputies. I just want to.
Okay.
I mostly just want to know. It looks like it was handled right, or something went sideways, just so
Sure.
we can collectively rectify.
Yeah.
So-
No, you have.
All right.
Trust me, baby. I believe
Hey,
you have the best intentions, just as everybody else should. I'm never gonna look at somebody and think they're just being like not anything but
hey,
that. So
you know, I appreciate
it.
that.
You're
Thank
okay.
you, Alice.
You're welcome,
right.
darling. If you need
Okay.
anything else from me,
Yep.
give me ring or ding. I'll look into it
Okay.
furthermore, and I'll let you have a kind of whatever I can give you or whatever the best that I can. Okay.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay. You
All right.
have a lovely
take care.
day. Goodbye, darling.
Bye.
I'm sorry, Nino. Please. Your
It's
blood
not your
pressure-
fault. It's not your fucking fault.
Your
It's
blood
fucking
pressure's
tradition.
rising.
It's just God fucking damn it. How are we supposed to look after the city when shit's not getting documented? It's just like, what are you supposed to say? You know, oh yeah, it's not your problem. Yeah, it is a fucking problem. These are fucking citizens being sent up for God knows what. For fucking games. How fucking, because on one hand, it wasn't documented, which is why it's like, what you could roll out of bed and just say, yeah, go send him for this, but you can roll out and just put out a fucking update to the docket. But on the flip side, did someone really just look at the old case and say, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna put him this fine in time, let alone the lack of goddamn due process?
Yeah, that's the concerning part, because when I looked up maybe Falconer might have mandated after the first one, but all he mandated was that people will be getting aiding and abetting, but nothing about time or fine at all. Because I think they have a
It shouldn't even be aiding
slider.
and abetting to begin with, to be honest. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, crisis aside, I think if anything, this all points back to Michael's about to. Is he having like a 30-minute? You processing everything? Oh fuck.
Just taking some deep breaths.
Okay. Pred, let me call you back. I gotta finish this cabinet meeting.
All right. I'll be in the interview with Cassidy if you want to show up to the castle. But
should I come up?
I don't think Princess would be opposed.
If Princess texts me, I'll come up.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, to wrap up my stuff though, that's the first part, and the second part is I'm putting up an appeal for Flippy's document charges, and I'm just gonna go off of the governor's explanation of what should and shouldn't be or should and shouldn't be put through the legislative process, or I guess what needs to be put through, otherwise is a legal charge, because I'm going off of the penal code stuff that is getting reverted. I guess I'm going off of that logic to undo the 34 document charges Flippy got, so I'm putting that appeal up.
As I maintain my composure, I think the plan of action that we already had laid out is the means, is that we need a process by which the judiciary can be replenished by individuals that the city has trust behind. And when they are held accountable by the people and there is no fear of being untouchable, only then can we start to get a resemblance of like justice. So these cases like the one that you dealt with Tony twice back to back, or anything else along these lines where it's just we're just not getting any sort of feedback, any sort of discussion, any kind of movement, all of that gets resolved. Because if you fear your job just as we fear our jobs, getting impeached or whatever, that's when people start working. You know what I mean? That's when they know that if they don't fulfill their role, someone else will do it for them. So unless there's anything else, I think, Michael, we got to get going.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull out your tablet and send me pictures of the housing measurements?
Oh, I sent it to you already.
2 of the images were the same, so I'm missing a row.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I sent you a photo of like the entire.
Yeah, it double sent 2 of the same, so I'm missing.
I got you.
Yeah, both the houses are on there.
I'm gonna send it over text message.
Perfect.
Michael, we this whole thing's got to get fixed. Otherwise, I wouldn't even want to practice law.
Yeah.
Because then it's just you're practicing law. The court case is, I want to make you like this person and change your subjective opinion on them, as opposed to did they do right? Did they do wrong? What is the legal argument?
Yeah, that's it. That's it exactly.
Yep.
All right. Oh yeah, one last thing. Barrett requested money. They've been bleeding. DOJ cut them off. Mask off moment after everything that Weiss had to say. Right? You're not gonna. There are arguably still accountable for the DOC and the marshals, given the Constitution states.
Jesus Christ, Voss. Holy shit.
I would argue that because they are responsible for preserving the integrity and safety of the state, and they're getting 75% of the budget, an argument can be made that they're constitutionally. Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we just push legislation? In 3 days, the DOJ is going to have to start paying them.
Do that. Nothing's stopping us.
Let's I might send them money in the interim. I don't want them to end up starving. We can't. I don't get people. Fuck these people, to be honest. I just, I can't. After all the fucking crying we hear, they just cut them off. It's insane.
I'm just gonna say, when I take my my metaphorical child's Nintendo Switch away, he throws a tantrum too. So
at least that's understandable.
How
about full-grown adults here?
Yeah, because he's fucking 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's anything else we want to talk about? I'm always riled up. I'm always fucking riled up. I'm ready to fucking go. I'm ready to cook some stuff. Let's go right now.
I think on the side I'm gonna work on that. Remember the robbery legislation we've been trying to get together?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want me to continue with that?
I think that might be too much for you right now because, not because you can't do it, it's because I think in order to be successful, we need to write up a skeleton of how our criminal code structure is going to look like, right?
Okay.
Unless you want to do that, but I feel like, unfortunately, me and Michael have done like 90% of the cooking, and what we have in our brain may not be properly conveyed just yet. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, either way, maybe.
You know what? Make a template. Instead of doing the robbery one, come up with a vague template, right? Of how a criminal code that umbrellas everything with robberies would look like. So instead of getting to the meat of it, write a skeleton. I think that's a smart idea.
I was going with the
and then making
a bunch of ideas and make it fit a frame later on. But I could try a skeleton if needed.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean by that? Like
I think it's kind of talking.
Like, what would the layout of it be? Right? We don't need, like, in other words, you're not going to have, like, with a skeleton, you don't have to flush out the details of the law, but rather it would be like, this is what a criminal code for robberies would look like the layout. Here's an example of a title, right? And then you put the description here. You know what I mean? So
it's kind of like defining different types of robberies, like, GTA versus a bank robbery versus, like, petty stuff, I'm assuming.
How would a criminal code that describes all robberies, what would it look like? And, the formatting of it is going to be very important so that it's easy to read. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right.
I'll give it a try then.
All right. Awesome. Anything else before we go?
No, that should be it.
Please don't
give you a
forget
call.
to send Quartz money.
I'm going to do that right now. That'll be
Tony,
the
when
first thing I do.
I'm free, I'll give you a call. I have some source material you could use for the criminal code. I kind of started on a skeleton, but I'm happy to share.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hit you up. I'm probably gonna fly out to the store real quick, get some supplies for sushi or something, and then.
Yeah, all good.
When I fly
I've
back,
got to
I'll
call
text you.
Clark back so that he knows Nino unlocked me from the cabinet.
Wait, I'll tell you this. When it comes to robbery, the way I envisioned it was criminal code regarding offenses against rights to property, right? That's typically how you would structure it, where the criminal code references fundamental rights as the sections, and then you would just include everything robbery and theft related under that section. And it's really straightforward, right? You basically lead with a heading. Right. Exactly. You lead with a heading that says anyone commits robbery if they, and then you list the scope and the subclauses under it. It's very plain language, very simple. There's no rationale as to why it's robbery. You're just saying robbery. You commit robbery if you do X, Y, Z. That's it. Very straightforward. Yeah. The details for it, Tony, you have to remember the details are going to be referenced. So if there's a bill or legislation that results in
No. Details need to be in the legislation, not the penal code charges, though.
The rationale, the context, that details?
Yes. Yeah.
You need that in the criminal code?
So
rationale as to why we're making something illegal?
On an individual basis, you want the high-level philosophy in the legislative document. This is why we need the template first. Let's not cook on this. It's going to distract us.
Sure.
Yeah. Do what you can, Tony.
I'll try.
I think this is a worthwhile debate, but not one right now. We got things we gotta do first. Sure. I do think though, I think that's why I think templating